welcome everybody. Welcome. It's West Coast Wolf. I'm your host tonight on the Barry Black Community Reloaded broadcast. Tonight I'm gonna do something different. I'm opening the lines up in the beginning because people have a habit of coming in late. Colored folks are always late. So what I want to do is this time I'm gonna leave this time for you guys to discuss whatever you want to talk about before I get into the subject tonight. Because I think it's a very, very, very valuable topic I'm going to talk about tonight. And I know, factually, most people don't understand the ramifications of not knowing how to play with this or deal with this type of issue that we all have called vulnerability. So I'm going to open the lines up. I see my buddy Leon in here. I'm going to talk. I know CJ, you on the road, so I'm going to talk. I'm open up for Leon. Let's just talk for a minute. What's up, Leon?
Nothing much, brother. Like yourself?
How you doing, man? I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. How's everything?
Every day is good, man. Every day is good. Like I actually have my mom moving from Detroit the 20th. So
Oh, I thought she was here already.
Month.
She's not here yet?
No. Like this, she had to sell the house, and then we basically had to prior, this crowbar her to get her
away
here.
from the area.
So,
she didn't want to leave. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you're almost 70 years old. You own the place. Even if like old man, father died. The family's not there. But like she's happy, but it's just one of those things. Change is one of those things. But
hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's hard to do, but the way stuff going now, we all need to be together. So family, friends, everybody, like you said, like vulnerability, and being out there is definitely vulnerable.
So whose idea was it? Was it your idea or your brother's idea to get your mom out here? I know you said she was kicking and screaming, so she really didn't want to leave.
Well, like she wanted to leave, but just like vulnerability, like this, one of the things that even makes us more vulnerable. It's like I think it's like ego, you know what I mean? Like, or it's pride. So for instance, okay, Detroit. I mean, like they are doing some gentrification down there, but I mean, like most of the time I lived there, like it was like, if not the murder capital, in the top three.
Damn close,
so it's like, yeah. So it was like, hey, come over here, like my brother and I, we're trying to get them to come here, like to stay here for years, like in their, because they were like senior citizens and everything. But eventually, like this, she finally just decided, especially after like my father died. So, she finally decided. So which is good too, because like as like I said, like as we're more vulnerable, but together. So just like a fist, do 5 fingers easy to break, but you got that fist, you have that family unit, like it's definitely harder. Like you still can break your fist, but it's a lot harder to break than your finger. So it's definitely good to, like so it's definitely good to have her here, and I just obviously I have some stuff that I plan on doing with you too, like I've talked to you about, and like your family, your friends, like just build that strong unit, try to, like whatever vulnerabilities that like you have, try to work on them. Don't be ashamed, and that's one thing too. Like this, you got to kind of get humbled. Like I remember when I first started out, like this, I'm still taking some classes, like I have some school classes tomorrow, but one of those things, like the way the economy is, the way everything is, you got to get humbled, and you got to stop worrying about that fake ego, because Trump or those white supremacists, or even if Hillary, I mean, it's not a lot better if Hillary is in office, but the way the way times are, the way unemployment is in the black community, we are extremely vulnerable. So the last couple of years, it's been, transformation, as like you've known me for years, and like just trying to move forward, man. So with my people, man, it's just some scary times. So
real talk, man. Real talk. Yeah. It's some scary times. And
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta deal with a lot of issues today, man. It's like, people need to get to wake up. It's time. And I mean, like when the gate closed, man, it's late. It's too late. So I mean, hey, it's time to make some moves, man, and then we need to get serious, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get into this subject in a minute, but yeah, man, I want to talk about also that a lot of people don't know that Milwaukee had an uprising in Milwaukee. There was a problem in Milwaukee. They shot this guy out there. Supposedly had a gun, but he wasn't pointing at the police. They say he was pointing at them, and they shot him dead. And there was also this gas station over there in Milwaukee that they said shot at some kids. And man, the people just uprise over there. It's not getting a lot of media attention because they ran the media out of there. Fox News, whoever set up shop over there, they just ran them smooth out. So they actually burnt the gas station down, man. They burnt the gas station down to the ground. And they told they had a few problems with that dude, but when that dude got killed, they was like, that's it, it's a wrap. They burned the station down to the ground. And because what happened first, see, I'm glad people were thinking about it. Because listen, I have been saying for so long time that all they gotta do is boycott that business. And any business in the neighborhood, we can boycott them. And what they did was they actually stopped soliciting that gas station, right? So what the dude tried to do is he tried to drop the prices and make it cheaper. So a few people came back, but when they killed that brother, man, that was it. They said it's over, it's a wrap. They burnt that place down to the ground. And then the media came in there trying to get a story and try to put a spin on it. They ran them out of there, so it wasn't cool for them to go in there. So they getting a lot of attention. So they was hitting some people up on Twitter, and the word got out. But the thing is that they still organizing over there, and I mean, we're on a powder keg right now, all around the nation. It's a big powder keg right now. So I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy stuff going on right now. Somebody got a question already. Let me see. Somebody, hang on, Leon. Somebody already gave the cue. Hang on. Let me see what they're talking about. Hang on. Welcome to the call. What's your name and where you calling from? With this block number.
Greetings. My name is Sapphire. How are you guys doing tonight?
Sapphire. Okay. We doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I have a comment and a question for you, brothers.
Okay.
I think it's so timely. The title of your show is so important. As a matter of fact, I feel that it is so important that someone should have that topic every single solitary day of the year until a few folks get it, because everybody's never going to get the fundamentals of what we need to know down. The masses never get it. It's always a chosen few, and then they're able to work some magic or whatever. So at any rate, what I want to say to you is this. Definitely extremely vulnerable. But I think that our problem is that we do not sit back and do critical thinking as to what exactly are our vulnerabilities. And I believe that social media is crippling us. Devastatingly so, and I'll tell you why. I want to use this situation as an example. I've been following Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles. I have been following them and their success. And I noticed that immediately when she won these medals, immediately social media began to look for things to pick her apart. And so what they said was she did not salute the flag. So she came on and she said, well, actually, I was standing at attention. And athletes know this, what that is. So now how they got off of that horse was that someone quickly brought to the forefront how Donald Trump, they were at a debate, and everybody was saluting the flag except for him, and he is a candidate for POTUS. So they quickly left that, because if Donald Trump don't salute the flag, you're going to have to get out of anybody else's face. You see what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. When social media knows what our weaknesses are, what our fragile points are. And within the Black community, we have a lot of self-hate. But there are some of us who research certain things, and we know when certain things don't come from us. And I want to say this. So when they realized that they couldn't get her with saluting the flag, someone came out and said the pro-Black community said she had nappy edges. Now, you can tell that that doesn't come from us because we know that sisters are wearing nappy edges now with pride, gladly. Okay? Locks, natural hair. So we would not discourage nappy edges. If anything, we would encourage them. Now, here's my point I'm leading up to. The brother who gave the story about the gas station really shocked me because I was thinking this. What if the gas station owner had been boycotted? I didn't have any history on this, and he started the fire in it himself to get the insurance money. I'm saying that we have to understand that the social media construct is used as a stick to beat us over the head with, to manipulate us. And I think we need to stop taking everything that comes over Twitter and Facebook at face value. Because for all that we know, all this stuff could be planned. You know, see, people are getting killed, yes. But how do we know that that's not done by design? Because they know that we think that the traditional media is a scam. So then you're spoon-fed propaganda via this social media construct. Now, we have to be crazy as hell if we don't think that these constructs have been infiltrated and used to manipulate our minds. So
well, wait a minute now. What's your? That's a long comment. So, what's your question?
My question is this. My question is this. Do you feel that social media is one of our weaknesses? Do you feel that the propaganda that comes over the social media construct keeps us at odds with one another and keeps us not looking in the right direction as to what's beating us over the head?
Okay. Let me get into my set here. Okay, thanks for the call. So let me get into my set, and I'm gonna go over there right now. Thanks, Sister Sapphire, for calling in. Now, before I go into my set, let's talk about that things you brought up about social media. Let's talk about that for a minute. First off, as far as the story with the gas station, that came from some very credible sources, people who are actually on the ground. But you're right. Social media, it is a vulnerability for us in some ways. It depends on how you spin it. For most people, some of our people, I don't care about everybody else. Our people, as far as not knowing how our social media is being used against us, that would be a problem. So you have to be. Let me just get into my set. It's gonna make more sense when I get into my set. Let me just go through my topic today because we're gonna line all that up right now. First off, the topic for tonight is the ability to be vulnerable, a real sign of maturity and confidence in you. I chose this topic because I think it's the best kept secret. I'm just giving you a few of my nuggets that I over 40 years of living, what I've learned, and I don't even talk about to other people. Most people don't even talk about this kind of stuff. They don't even know this is how I view things. But there's a reason why I have the friends that I have. There's a reason. I feel like I have friends right now that are literally risk their life for me. That's how I feel. I have friends right now that, I'm not saying a whole bunch of friends. I have a few choice friends that I know that if we got into a struggle, they would go for broke for me. And I'll do the same for them. There's a reason I have these type of friends. And let me get into my set. This builds it a lot. So I'm going to just read this out to you. A lot can and will be discerned if you really think things through about who you are and who you want to be, and those you need in your circle of personal relationships, as well as your much-needed mentors. The reason you bond with some people and not others. Now, before I go into the set, I like to always give a definition because some people don't know and maybe they guess and people like to like wing things and figure out what vulnerability really means, I'm gonna give you the dictionary version of what that means. Okay, Webster Dictionary says to be vulnerable. Two definitions. It says easily hurt or harmed physically, mentally, or emotionally. The second is open to attack, harm, or damage. Now, as Sister Sapphire brought up what's happening with some of our Olympians, that's key because vulnerability is we're gonna be tested in this world we live in. We're gonna be tested. Me personally, here's what I learned about vulnerability. Okay, vulnerability used in the right way, it shows maturity. It shows strength of character in being you. You are the most. I think I heard somebody told me. Somebody said this. I think online or maybe I heard a movie, but it's so apropos. It said, "You are the most perfect you can be. You are the perfect. Nobody can be a perfect you more than you." And it's true. Think about that for a minute. Even with your quirks and your differences, we're always trying to better ourselves. That's true. But you are the perfect you. Nobody can implement you better than you can. In your day-to-day life, in your character, in your display, everything you do with grace and confidence and kindness and love, all your good points, nobody can do that just like you because you're a unique individual. So that's powerful once you embrace that. People don't embrace their vulnerabilities in the right way. And I'm going to give you an example of Superman. Now, I know this. I'm not going to open up to everybody, but I'm going to say this knowing what people are going to say. I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. Answer to yourself. I'm going to open to the lines because I know what's going to hear already. What was Superman's vulnerability? What was it? Just think for a minute. What was Superman's vulnerability? Now, when I open the lines up, off top, be real with yourself. Off top, most people are going to say kryptonite. I ain't going to open the lines up. I know how my people thinking. Maybe one or two people might say something else, but most people, I'm saying, I'm confident, over 95% of people, maybe high as 98, 99% of people are going to say Superman's weaknesses, his vulnerability was kryptonite. His weakness was kryptonite. Yes. Directly, yes. But his true vulnerability was not kryptonite. I argue his true vulnerability was his love for people who were weaker than he was. Superman is the only superhero that I know of, and you can tell me I'm wrong. He's the only superhero that I know of who humbled himself to play weaker character to hide his strength because nobody matched his strength and his skill set. So he camouflaged himself to be weak when he really was strong. Clumsy, bad vision, inefficient, not real good with people, not real discerning, and not tough. All things that he was not to fit in. Now I'm going to tell you something, and you can play it however you want to play. Think about this for yourself. I'm giving you some psychology right now, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't make friends with anybody. I'm going to be real with you. I don't have any long-term friends that have not been vulnerable with me. That's truth. I'm going to tell you something personal about myself right now. My own mother, my own father, they would sit and literally lie to my face about things they felt because they thought that was the thing they should do at the time. But when you know your parents, you look right through that, you see the things they do, the moves they make. You know when they're telling you a lie. You know this, family. You know. But the type of lies, some of the things that my family did, I understand some things they did, but at the same time, family, it's not an excuse. If I'm your child and I'm growing up in a household, and there are things that could hurt me, you will tell me whatever you tell me for me not to veer into that arena. In some cases. But as we get older, family, we get more mature in life. You would think your family would have the gall, the testicular fortitude to tell you the truth. But many parents in the black community are not doing that, family. We're always a work in process. And now I'm gonna go full circle to you about the Olympians that we talked about. Okay, the Olympians. Social media, yes, it's a weakness for black people. You know why? Because as black people in this country and globally, for that matter, we're psychologically tortured. We're always being conditioned to be less, inferior. We have self-esteem issues. These are all things that are happening because we're being interjected into a world that's not our own. We've been made to feel less than who we are. So when you have social media, uploading all your stuff on social media, you better be ready for white supremacists and for people who don't like you, the haters, even in your skin folk. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk, to talk about you and bring you down. You got to be ready for that. But here's the key, family. To be vulnerable is also a power. When you know who you are, can't nobody change that. When you can wear that like a badge of honor of who you are, I'm not saying you got to be disrespectful about how doing things, but be respectful about, how you handle it, tactful. But when you know who you are, family, your good and your bad points, it ain't going to matter that much what people think about you. If you know you're doing the best you can do, you're always working on yourself, trying to be better, it ain't going to matter. See, I got to a point, I'm talking about 20 years ago in my life. When I came out of the struggle with my family, dysfunctional as they were, when I survived the childhood that I had and got to be a young grown man on my own, struggling, trying to put food on the table for myself, bought my first car, I had a lot of hungry days, malnutrition days, ulcers, because I'm not eating well. All of them by myself. Not a whole lot of support. My family did the best they could when I moved back on my own in another state. My big mama, God rest her soul, my big mama is my mama, and she sent what she could because she's an older lady. She was my grandmother. And I became a man at 17. And I look at so many people in my life, in my circle. I work with people, big wigs and small wigs, people in between, millionaires, non-millionaires, thousandaires, regular people, poor people, poverty-stricken people, everybody. And I'm going to tell you something. Most people have the same issue, vulnerability. You hide who you are, family, because you don't want people to know your weaknesses. But when you own your weaknesses, when you own who you are, that shows your maturity level. This is the reason why women get older. When they were young, they were trying to be a certain way. They were trying to like impress the guy. They were trying to, and guys do the same thing too. Sorry, give an example. Sinbad talked about his divorce. He went out on a dating scene again at 40-some years old. He went on a date with this girl. He said, "You know what? Put your fork down right now. I don't like the way you eat. I don't like the way you chew." The audience went crazy. They laughed. But what he was showing you was he had become confident and comfortable in who he was. And he wasn't ready to compromise himself, starting all over with stuff he know he didn't like. Okay? So he's willing to cut off everything at that point on a fresh date because he knew this was not going to work out. You see? So it takes time over time people to become comfortable in their vulnerabilities and their likes and dislikes and affecting other people's view of you. That's powerful, family. That's maturity. It's the reason why when you're young, when I'm talking to the men now, a lot of men were young, they like the older girls. The older girls didn't play the games the young girls played. Different kind of game set. And same with the girls. They're like a more mature guy. The young guys played too many games. They were stupid. They was immature, whatever. They did the older guy. He got a car. He got a little apartment doing for himself. You begin to see that confidence in people. And whether it's fake or not, the impression is the same. But as you get really mature, you can sit down with your friends and say, "You know what? This is my problem. I'm working on this right here. I'm working on this." You ain't trying to cut. You ain't trying to be fronting. You trying to be. You will keep it 100. People always say, "I keep it real." You can say all that you want to, but how you live your life is what's real and what's not. When your friends come to you about a problem, and they can sit down with you one-on-one and discuss their weaknesses, they can be vulnerable with you. When you're vulnerable with somebody, family, you open up for attack. Any new relationship you have with a woman or a man, even some of your family members you don't close to, when you have the power to know yourself, to be mature enough to open up yourself. That's strength. I'm going to tell you right to this day, and I don't know if my life's going to change because I've seen too much in my life. I don't trust anybody who cannot be vulnerable with me. I don't trust you that much. I don't. I'm sorry. Because in life, mature people, grown-ass adults, you own your shit. You own your shit. You don't go around living like the Joneses doing. You try to be like everybody else. You try to cover up who you are. No. You can be a work in process. There's nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with you having some problems. See? But you have to open up and tell people who you are and own that shit. When you can do that, that's maturity. That's being a grown. When people say I'm a grown ass man, dog, I'm a grown ass woman. What that really means, people misuse it all the time. What that really means is this is how I am. My good points, my great points, and my bad points. My bad points, if you're real and you're a balanced individual, you're working on them. Now, if you want to be hardy and you want to be an asshole and you want to be cocky about it and this is who I am, deal with it, hey, go ahead. Let's see how many good relationships you have. Being that way and just trying to bully and run over people. You got to have balance in everything you do. And what I'm telling you now on this phone tonight, there's a lot of people in my life, and I look back on it, have helped me a lot. Still help me in different areas of my life. But I only trust them because I feel a bond with them. I feel there's a connection with them. I feel this person knows who Wolf is, and they still love you. If you can't let people know who you are, if they got to figure you out, if they got to sit back and analyze you over years and years of time without knowing the most simple and simplistic things about you, family, you are not keeping it 100. And whoever you're talking to and making think they're your friend, their love, whatever it is, you are being false to that person. And it's unacceptable. And what's going to happen to you one day, two things are going to happen. Either that person's going to find out you've been fake with him all this time, months, years, whatever it is, and you decide you're going to be somebody and try to play him or whatever. Or number two, you say, you know what? I can't do this person no more. I'm done. So I'm telling you tonight, family, I'm telling you, this is a jewel I'm dropping on you right now. You might not understand it right now. You might not get it. But replay the tape. Comment on YouTube. But I'm going to tell you something. Every older person that I know that I consider mature has been vulnerable. Because you know what? When you're facing that Grim Reaper, when you're facing that time when you might be laying the ground, you don't got time to be bullshit with people. You don't have time. Time is very valuable, family. Very valuable. Why spend your time faking like you perfect? Why spend your time with people you call yourself loving and you have a relationship with and you friends with or whatnot? Why spend your time trying to fool people? Why do that? Because in life, the joke gonna be on you. When you make a phone call to somebody, my good friend, my OG friend Marshall called me one time. And he called me, I was in the bed. And he don't live in my area, okay? He said, Wolf, I need you. And me knowing him, mature man, when he called me in the middle of the night, when he know I've been working all day, he know I've been doing a lot. When he called me, I don't even question it. You understand me? When you have a bond with somebody, you understand how they think, how they work. He said, I called everybody in my family. Couldn't get hold of nobody. But I know if this one dude is available, he going to be here for me. And when he made that call, I didn't even question it. I said, I'm on my way. I got stories like that for days of different people in my life. I don't get there and bore you with all the details. What I'm trying to tell you is, when you know your friends, your family, your loved ones, those people you bonded with them for a reason. See, I don't bond with everybody. I try everybody to be, on a decent level with people, but I don't bond with everybody. Some people are just too hard to deal with. There's a brother right now, I ain't going to say no names, because somebody might know him on this call, but he's very hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. Just talking to this man, it puts me in a state that my blood pressure goes up. And I try my best to reason with this brother. I try my best. I try to be balanced with him. I try to talk to him like respectfully. I try everything. But to be on the phone with this man, to be in his presence, is too much work. And I'm not willing to just give myself a heart attack dealing with that. I love him from a distance. I help him if I can. But I can't spend too much time with him. You know what I'm saying? There's people in my family right now. I can't spend much time with them. And God knows, family, it's not because I don't want to. They are just too dysfunctional to deal with on a regular basis. It hurts me because with all the problems we have in the black community today, if we don't have each other, family, we don't have nobody. I'm sorry, some of y'all got some white friends, some of y'all got white friends in your family, but I'm just telling you right now, most of them you can't depend on when it's them against you. When it comes down to it, a person got to lose something to help you, you're going to see what you're dealing with. You're going to see what you're dealing with. Now, you want to look at what friendship is, you're going to look at go to my YouTube channel, Barry Black Community, and look at 3 levels of friendship. Listen to that audio. You're going to understand how to pick your friends. But what I'm telling you tonight on this call, tonight, I'm showing you something. Vulnerability, the ability to be vulnerable with your people, whoever that might be, that's strength, that's maturity. And I'm going to tell you something, in our community right now, most people we have in our community is not mature. And I don't care what age you put them on. I'm looking at the civil rights movement. A lot of our good leaders died in the Vietnam War. Those who are here are elderly now. They're seniors now. Get some knowledge from them while they're still here. Because I'm going to tell you, the people in my generation and lower, Lord have mercy for our people, because they are not mature. And everybody wants to be a tough guy, a tough chick, trying to be hard. But you know what? Life going to kick that ass. It might not happen today. Might not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. And when it hits you, you don't know where it came from if you're not in tune with yourself. You see, some things happen in our life. We don't know why they happen. Bad things happen, but they do. Sometimes those things happen because we brought it on ourselves. Got family all the time. They come to you when things already hit the fan already. The house is burning down. Now they call you up. But all the time when things was cool, you didn't get no phone call from them. See, that's the problem. Because you living like my sister, I hate to say it, my sister, prime example. She talked bigger smack than anybody. She the hardest chick on the block. She do whatever she want. But she didn't move back to my mama 5 times probably. She always talking about how much I didn't want, why I didn't have this, why I didn't have that. My big mama died, let me tell you something. True story. My big mama died. I had all my big mama furniture. I didn't want to get rid of it. Sentimental to me. She come to my place, look at me like, this all you got? That's all you want in life is this? No understanding of why I had what I had. Because she trying to live like the Joneses, you see. You can't live for other people. You cannot do it. I tried to live for my family for the first 25 years of my life. That don't work, family. Do you know, and some of you might relate, some members of your family, they're ready to give you advice and they're ready to give you counsel, and they don't even know who you are? How sad is that? You go away, you cast off as a child who don't listen, stubborn or whatever you might be. You come back from another area as a grown-ass man. Your family look at you the same. They still look at you, that child coming back. They don't know you've changed over these years. You've grown. You matured. But they still try to put you in this little box. And it don't work. And I see people all the time with their kids, and it just kills me because they don't get it. You cannot baby young adults. If you babied them because you felt they were vulnerable, now they're grown, but their mindset has never grown, you can't start spoon feeding them no more. They experience the world without you because you didn't show vulnerabilities and be honest with your children. So now they're looking at they know better than you now. See, that's a problem. The black community, we're the only community in America right now. For the main part, I'm sure some people you can always count on that have some issues like us. In different, there's always exception to the rule. But for the majority of our people, we are like trying to repair engines on cars that are moving. Family, some of us need an overhaul. So, most of us need an overhaul. You can't remove an engine and transmission from a car and while it's still running down the street at 85 miles an hour. But yet we are trying to do that. We are trying as a community, we're trying to repair and knick-knack and tack stuff on, and we call it back in the day, we call it nigger-rigging, shade tree mechanicking. We're trying to move vehicles that's on the road. We're trying to fix them while they're still moving. That ain't how life works. Sometimes you got to stop, reflect, pull your shit to the road, side of the road, and then fix what needs to be fixed. But no, what we try to do is repair and tack on and keep it moving. Now, some parts of our life, we got to do it with work. We got to work and deal with what we're going to deal with. But our family, our relationships, we got to slow down and fall back on some things, family, and really repair the damage that we have. It's about being vulnerable. Look here, I'm not perfect at all by any stretch of the imagination. But one thing I am, ask any of my friends. I ain't got to be there. Ask any of them. They're going to tell you the same story about me. Some might have different, a higher version of who I am. But ain't none of them going to say I'm fake. They know I'm going to tell you what it is. Don't ask me if you don't want the truth. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you, look, I ain't perfect. This is my problem right here. This is my problem right here. You call me on some things, I'll tell you that. You're right. Because I'm mature. I can be vulnerable. Because I know who I am. But as long as we are working on ourselves, family, as long as we are working on ourselves and being vulnerable with people that matter most, that's how you're going to have a bond with somebody. And it's sad I cannot bond with my own natural family. That's sad. But it's not my fault. It ain't for lack of trying. The last person that I bonded with in my family was my little brother. But then we had our issues. But we still cool. We talk here and there, but it's never like it was. But the last adult that my elder that I bonded with in my family was my grandmother, my big mom. And when she passed away, let me tell you something, family. This hurts me to say this. She was vulnerable even she was vulnerable on her deathbed. She told me, she said, Sean, I don't want to die. But don't let nobody turn you around. She looked into the future for me. And as a black man in his 20s when that happened, I couldn't do nothing to stop that. But my grandmother, my big mama, let me tell you something. Greatest woman in the world. She only had like a third grade education. But she had more wisdom than all my family members that I deal with. It's amazing. We have lost something, family, in our families. We have lost something, and I look at it, I'm worried about the future in this country for our people. Because the older ones, the elders, the mature ones who died off with less education, they were smarter than the people with education. I'm telling you, family, I've been on this earth over 40 years. And I don't know what you think you know about life. I don't know what you think you know about people. But don't go to be an elder person, senior person, and just wake up one day and realize what you should have been doing, how you should have been conducting yourself all these years. Looking around, wondering why you ain't got no real circle. Not wondering if you put your bag down and you turn your back, somebody going to put a knife in it. That's a cold way to live, family. That's a cold way to live. And I wish black people would go back to things were simple. Before technology, social media got everybody so messed up, family. I wish we didn't have it. I do. Some things are good, but the way our people are using it, the way we're abusing it, it's like they push things in social media. So the tap I was talking about. They put things out there for us to just grab on and just corrupt us. They put TV shows on for us to grab on and corrupt us. We need our own network. We need our own land, family. We need our own land. Because in reality, this world was built by us, but not for us. And the more our kids get brainwashed into this world, and the more we push away from the things that matter, what our elders talked about before they had education, nature's law and loving and being vulnerable and being honest with our people, the more we push away from that, the most ridiculous we get. And I just wonder what's going to happen in the next 10 years in this country. If they don't try to hunt us down, they going to hunt us down. They're going to try to do a lot to us over in this country. And the sad thing is, We're so disconnected as a people in this country. We're so disconnected with our own people, with our own family. You can't trust your own family sometimes to hold it down with you in a crisis. That's terrible. So, family, vulnerability. Just think about that. When you have to let your guard down, you put down your shield for a minute, and the chance of somebody being able to take an arrow, a gun, a spear through your heart because your shield is down. That's powerful. If you're not able to do that, how in the hell are you gonna have a relationship with anybody, any meaningful value? How? I don't think it's possible. And I'm over 40. I'm over 40 years. America is a country I've lived in, but Mr. Wolf, I've been to a lot of countries, and the ones with the best family circles, the ones with the most close-knit families, are the happiest. Do you know America is the most miserable country? Everybody want to be here because they see what we have. But when they get over here, they bring their culture here. You don't Americanize people from the old school who's born and raised somewhere else. They just bring their culture here. Now, their kids might be Americanized and messed up, but the parents, they live a certain way. Some kids get that, some kids don't. And it's not always good over there. I'm not saying it's always good, but what they have over there, they do have a culture. They do have some type of family unity. We lost that here. It was taken from us. We got to take it back, family. And I'll tell you right now, at this point, I thought at one point in this country, we could build and rebuild our communities and stuff with what we have here. I'm of a different mindset now. I believe now we got to buy our land. We got to raise our kids and crops in one area where we control it and own it and put people we want on it with us. See, you go to the inner city right now, you got people who race baiting you. You got people who backstabbing you because they all brainwashed, dysfunctional. You can't have a decent event no more without somebody getting out of control. But you know what? When you can piece by piece put together a team of people with family values, with culture, people who have their mindset focused on the main goals of living in a peaceful environment and raising our children with some type of backbone and honesty and balance, you can handpick who you want to be with you. You go into the community right now, they got it so messed up now, it's going to be hell to high water before you change it. In like 50 years of the civil rights movement, family, 50 years past the civil rights movement, we reset back to where we started. We won the civil rights movement. Somebody said we won the civil rights war, but we lost the cultural war. And I have to agree with it. Ruby Sales said that. Sister Ruby Sales said that. We won the civil rights movement, but we lost the cultural. We lost it. I want that back. It's more important than any technology, social media you got going on, to have our culture back. We love each other. We can be vulnerable with each other. We need that back. So I'm opening the lines up. I see people want to say something right now. I'm going to open up your live, 2697. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
All right, how are you doing?
All right, everything is good. So I had a couple of comments and a couple of things that I just kind of wanted to put out there too. First, I wanted to comment on, it was a few weeks ago. I had a problem with getting in on the line, but I want to comment about what you said about the president and about the fact that he's I appreciate the truth that he's kind of black, and he did a couple of things for us, but I really can't recall anything specifically that he did for us. A lot of the stuff I remember the status of America. I remember it was ugly. So him as regardless of whether he was a black president, but him as a president, he brought us out of a few things, out of these. As I remember the car companies and the banks about to fold, and it was some things that was real ugly. So he did bring us out of a few things, but when it was time for him to look out for the black people, for his people, I really can't remember anything specifically that he did.
Because it wasn't.
Anyway, I just want to make that comment about that. I appreciate you telling us the truth about him, and some of the things from his past that I didn't even know about. And I just one other comment I want to make about is is I just wondering what it's going to take for us to get together, because I think about when I try to talk to some of my family members, to try to get them to really understand where this country's going, and don't get it wrong. I like to party. I like to go to the games. I like all that stuff too, man, but it's a time for everything. And it's really not time for that right now. The comedy shows and all that stuff, it's not time for that stuff right now. This world is about to go into a tailspin, and it's going to be ugly. And then when people realize it, it's going to be too late. Also, I wanted to say something about social media. I appreciate the lady that brought it up. And I feel split between it, because the thing is, social media right now, it's working for us and against us, because it's definitely working for us, because we wouldn't even see half of these things where these police are out there murdering people. It
Right.
is what it is. Call it what it
Right.
is. And if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for a way for us to broadcast, to be able to record these things and show these things, we wouldn't even know half of this stuff. So I have to say, on that part, social media is working. And then on the side of what she was saying, I can understand what she's saying too. It's just a part of the way life is. Evil just comes up in everything, and so I can see evil in social media too. It's people using that, because of course you're gonna have good people in there and bad people in there. It's like that everywhere. You got good people and bad people. You got the bad people I can figure out a way to make black people look bad, and that's what they do. There's no way you're going to stop.
What about the vulnerability?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, vulnerability. And so here's where I'm at with that. Because I had to think about that. I was like, vulnerability. And because I like being hard, I lived most of my life being like that. Where did it get me? Got me nowhere. It got me nowhere. And I noticed when I there's something about that word. There's something about the word vulnerability. I don't like using it, but the thing is, the end result of vulnerability is good, because it gets you ahead in life. It lets you, when you don't have a chance, when you don't have a chance. I guess the word I'd like to use is more like humility. When you have humility, you can be arrogant, boastful, aggressive, and all these things, but when you practice a little humility, it'll get you way further than those other words I just used, and that's the truth on vulnerability. I know I don't want to take up too much time, but I just wanted to say something about the solution that you're coming up with about us banding together, and about small groups of us banding together and being able to get our own property. And I think it's the only way we're going to be able to move forward. Once this thing hits, I'm hoping that it doesn't come to the level of what you're saying. I'm sure this is something that you would rather be wrong about, but I hope it doesn't come to that level. But I can see it coming. I see it coming too, man. I see it coming, and this thing, you're going to be fighting over water and food and stuff that you just take for granted, And last thing you're going to be thinking about, you ain't going to be thinking about sagging your pants then. You ain't going to be thinking about no stupid stuff like that. That's some silly kid stuff. It's not time for that. It's time for us to wake up.
You made me think about something. You said that. As far as terms of vulnerability, who could you leave your family with? Think about that for a minute. If you really don't know an individual or group of people that you might be cool with, seeing at the store, neighbor, whatever, but who could you leave your family with? That is the most vulnerable part for a man and a family. Who could you leave your family with? You got to go make a run to get some food, some water, some medical supplies for somebody in the family. Who could you leave and feel confident they ain't going to sell your family to save their own skin? That's why I said we have to decide now while we got what we got. When we're doing what we're doing. You got to decide whose side you on right now. You cannot wait till something happens in this country, because it's happening all over the country right now. But when they turn over and they empower these white folks to be deputized to go out and destroy what they call would-be combatants or groups of people like us, whether they want to classify us, I don't know what they classify us as, but black folks, when they have people to go out and hunt us down or whatever in this country, who could you leave your family with? If you know you got to go run out for some food or water or something, you got to know that this dude you leave your family with, that's the most valuable part of your life at that point. That's your legacy right there. Who could you leave your family with while you go make a run and you may not come back? Think about that.
Exactly.
You can't do it with some cat you know in 2 weeks.
Hey,
some cat you know in 2 weeks. You can't do it with somebody you know in 2 weeks. Come on.
No. Let me make this last comment too, because I wanted to say this about, I'm speaking to everybody out there that's listening. Some people may not agree with everything you're saying.
Right.
But this is the problem. This is the problem for black people. This is where we're having our biggest problem, because I might not agree with everything you're saying. I'm speaking of me now. I might not agree with everything you're saying, but overall, you're making some great points, and we have to be able to, if we come together on issues, certain things that we may not agree on, but we have to learn to work together. We have to learn to work through certain issues. You might have a good idea. I might have a good idea. I might have a good idea for part of your good idea, and then together we can come up with a great idea, and this is where people, they're killing me. It's like, oh, well, I don't know, man. He's talking about that stuff, or he's too militant. He's talking about, but maybe you're not as militant as the next person. But the thing is, we need to come together and get some, and put all our resources together and come up with some answers for some things. We don't do something, if we don't, doing nothing, guess what happens? Nothing happens.
Nothing good for us. Because one thing I guarantee you, family, these white supremacists, they planning. They gonna have they how they call it? They gonna have their T's crossed and their I's dotted. And if you got your pants down, not it's gonna be the same game. Praying for them to stop ain't stopped this for 400 years. They ain't gonna just not do it because you say stop. It's funny story. My brother told me a funny story. He said, "You know what, Sean? I was beating this guy. We got into a fight with this dude, and I was beating this guy so bad." He said, the dude started saying, "Okay, stop, enough." He looked at him like, "We fighting. What you mean stop?" And that's how people are right now. They like, I'm hoping this don't happen. I'm hoping he's too militant for me. But when they took them babies in Louisiana and hooked them with them hooks and tied rope around the babies and fed them using the gator bait, the mama saying stop didn't make them stop. They still fed your babies to alligators in the bayou. That still happened. True story. When they hung and lynched people's mama and daddies and grandmas and whatnot, they did all that. They still said, please don't do it. They still did it. That didn't make them stop. Yeah, I might be too militant. Some people might be too militant. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'd rather be militant and survive than to be not and die. That's just me. Me.
Yeah, well, let me say this too, because I want to make sure that people. I don't really care, but I am. I will put it out there. I am a spiritual person. Don't get it twisted. But the thing is that you brought up prayer.
I am too.
The thing is, prayer without doing anything else with it, it doesn't work. God expects you, when you pray, He expects you. You can't just pray for a job and then sit at home and turn the TV on and hope that the job is going to come. You have to get out there. Okay, you want to be blessed with a job, God's going to bless you with it, but then you pray about it, and then you get up and go out there and get it.
That's right.
Prayer with action is the only thing that's going to make it happen. It talks in the Bible about, man, there's much bloodshed and it's some militant stuff in the Bible. Believe that.
That's right. Believe it.
Believe that. Don't get it twisted. David was a killer. He was a killer.
Hey,
so
I'm trying to tell you. All right, listen, we got some more hands in here, my brother. Thanks for your call. We appreciate you. Keep listening. We got you going on to somebody else here. I got somebody on the line. Last four digits is 3437. I'm opening your line up. Welcome to the show. West Coast Wolf. What's your name? Where you from?
This is Mr. Research calling from California.
Mr. Research. I remember you. How you doing, Mr. Research? Go ahead, brother. What's on your mind? I'm not sure what you heard, but yeah.
Well, I was on another show. We were talking to talking about economics. But let me just say this: for us, for all of us, especially the males, women kind of get it, but we as males got to really start getting it. Self accountability, man. You can't sit up here and blame everything that happens to you on external situations. Yeah, that contributes to it, but so what? You got to overcome that shit. You got to get to the next level. If a dude born with no parents and he's an orphan, he's a ward of the state. His life is fucked up from 5 years old to 18. If he gets out here with no family, no ties, and it's like, fuck that, I got to make it because it's only me. Right. What's ours? Why we got it so hard? Because we had to unlearn bullshit that was taught to us. Peep that out. We got to unlearn bullshit. My parents, both of them, schooled me on some shit that was relevant to them. Now, half of that, a quarter of that, does stick to me because, nothing changed, everything remains the same. But some of that other shit that they stick to me is their experiences, their fears, their shit they got going on. And the day I went to Japan and the teacher taught me, fuck your life. Go out here and make this shit happen or die. I was like, huh? Fuck your life. Go out here and make this shit happen or die because you're in the fucking way. And he taught me the samurai religion of, he said, you know why people in samurai movies kill themselves? I said, yeah, I heard it was this or that. He said the real reason is because you were supposed to dedicate yourself to something, an emperor or a way of life, and you went against that shit. You wasn't ready to protect your emperor. You wasn't on point. Your life is fucking worthless. Get the fuck out of the way. Kill yourself and let somebody else get in. And it was such a harsh reality for me to get, but then once I got it, Christianity made sense, Islam made sense. It ain't about what other people tell you should be doing. Do you and do your shit so well that every morning you wake up and say, fuck, I didn't get that shit done last week. Fuck, I didn't get that done yesterday. It ain't about your bitch, the white man. It ain't about, and the same thing for ladies. Stop blaming this dude. You chose this motherfucker.
Right.
You thought the dude was fine as hell and you wanted him to fuck. You negated the fact that he didn't have a car at 30 years old. You negated the fact that this dude dressed like shit. You negated the fact he already had 2 kids. That's your choice.
Right.
But that is the self-accountability I just call it then. We got to do that better than what we're doing. Because we make excuses for a lot of shit.
I agree. All right, brother, you done? Is that it? Okay. All right, well, brother, thank you for that. I agree with you. On that. But like I'm saying in the topic of vulnerability, you have to understand yourself and know where you come from. And like I said, at 17, I was on my own. And that's why I became a man. And it wasn't no daddy there to hold me down, mama there wasn't to hold me down, big mama. I had to figure it out. And I come back this way, back to California, and I realized a lot of cats my age were so far behind in being a man. Because even in Africa, they have rites of passage. Didn't even realize I was going through a rites of passage. Really, real talk. I was going through rites of passage. Because the way my life was, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be locked up in prison for murder, probably my father, or the dope game, drugs. I ain't supposed to be here. But I decided myself, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to be. And unfortunately for our people, a lot of us have given in to what Negro trinkets on the white man gives us. Society, we decided it's not worth trying to be, this real stellar person of society because of what's happening to us. Like you say, it's an excuse. And what happened to you or didn't happen to you in your childhood, that wasn't your fault. But what you do as a grown-ass man and woman, that is up to you. That is up to you. All right, let's see. I think we got another call here. Let's see here. By the way, if anybody wants to have a comment, we have about 25 minutes left. Press 1. to get yourself in the queue, and I'll let you speak. Say your piece. Okay, I see another person here. Let you in. Last for this is 0425. Welcome to the call, 0425. Speak your piece.
Hi, my name is Shirley, and I'm calling from California. And I'm sitting here. Hi, and I'm sitting here listening, and I'm just want to interject on. Everyone needs to take accountability for themselves, men, women. Society has changed. The way we were brought up, I was brought up in the 60s, and it's changed from what my parents taught me versus what the children or the youth are being taught today. It's almost like
hello, sister? Sister, we lose you? Got quiet. Hope she comes back. Sis. Think her phone went out. Maybe she'll call back. Okay. But let's not get off topic, family. This actual topic is about vulnerability and the power of being vulnerable. And until you understand yourself, know what your challenges are, and willing to project that on people you count on, you depend on, until you can do that, you're not going to get far in this life. Because if you walk around everybody in your circle look at you like they don't trust you, that's a problem. People need to know who you are, who you really are. And if people don't know who you are, they're not going to trust you. And I'm going to tell you something. For our people, the small amount of people that we have that's on the same, somewhat the same playing field about uniting as a people, we need to have them in our corner. Because when this thing pop off in this country, and it's going to happen. Trust me on that. Feel it in my bones. I get goosebumps. It's going to happen. You're not going to have time to decide who's on your side. Everybody who's skinfolk ain't your kinfolk. So you need to decide who you have the maturity level, the strength, the courage to be vulnerable with on this side of things. Do that this side. Then you may think about how you will survive what happens in this country. Because I'm saying we the only ones not planning. Everybody else is doing calculated plans. In the dominant society, they're calculating on what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. It's already, I had to say it, it's already been planned. They're just waiting the time frame out to make it look good. It's already been planned. The stage has been set. When they militarized the police force, I already knew this was coming. They just killed us on record numbers now on social media, but it's happening right now. So accountability is good, it's true, but you got to be accountable to yourself first. See, if you don't hold yourself accountable, don't expect everybody to hold you accountable. Your job might hold you accountable because they pay you. But in your personal life, if you're by yourself, after mom and dad is gone, who's going to hold you accountable if you're not married, you're going to have a significant other? It's just you. Nobody else cares. So start there. Okay, I think we came back. Let me see. Your sister's back on. Let me see. 0425. Sister, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, I don't know what you're saying, but go ahead. You're talking about accountability, but we're talking about vulnerability,
okay.
But I'm not sure what time you came in. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was saying that times are different, times have changed, so everyone needs to take accountability of their own actions. Mm-hmm. Once you step out your front door every day, you're taking a risk. You don't know if you're going to make it back home or what. The way society is set up, everyone needs to be prepared. You don't know what your next task will be. You might go to your job, you might not return home from work. So we just need to be ready. We need to prepare, the way the world is turning around. We need to prepare. We need to, like you were stating about if you were to leave your family, who would you leave your family with? That's a good question because a lot of people don't have, family, or they don't have someone they can go away for 2 weeks, etc., leave their family and come back, and their family is still safe. That's right. Where accountability steps in. That's where we all need to be accountable for our own actions. We need to start preparing our youth now. We need to start, in case of a disaster, pack a security bag, leave it in your trunk of your car or leave it at the front of your door or just stuff you're going to need to survive,
That's right.
Look what happened to the people in New Orleans. They didn't even want to help them at first when Katrina first went down. The Red Cross was saying they ran out of money, and FEMA didn't want to step up to the plate and help them. So we all need to be prepared. Get a big tote bag or get a backpack and just throw some noodles in there, some bottled water, flashlights, candles, matches, etc., a change of underclothes, just something where you can get through 2 weeks or whatever in case something happens and you might be separated from your family. It's good to start now, putting away maybe a couple of dollars a day so you will have something to fall back on. But I don't think the youth today have that. They haven't been breeded up like that. They out there to make a quick dollar or however they can hustle and get their groove on. But we need to look at, we are living in the last days. They talk about that in the Bible. So we just need to get ready. We need to get on board, and we need to be ready to step out there for when the next crisis might hit us.
That's right. All right, my sister, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And it's so true. You know what? I got another tack to put on y'all on this. If we have an earthquake, we in California, we do for the big earthquake. We do 6 years, we're like at least 6 years overdue. And I'm going to tell you something how this government works. Katrina hit. Let me tell you something. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were going to allow black folks to kill each other, allow us to die, starvation, drown, whatever, because they want us out of that area. It's all about money. It always comes down to economics. And they will use a natural disaster. They'll use that time to get rid of black folks. You can believe it if you want to or not. You can live on the hope factor if you want to. But the way they're criminalizing the black man, especially the black man, the black family now, do you think in a crisis, think about this for a minute, in a crisis in America, whatever it be, it could be World War III breakout, we get bombed. Some kind of way we get the lights go out. Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. If you run across another group of people who are not black folks, and even some black folks, but for the sake of argument, let's talk about people not black. Non-black people are looking at us from what they see on TV, for the experience they have in the hood or whatever. They've been brainwashed to be a certain way. Chances are good, a lot of times you may not get support from other groups of people because of what they perceive you to be. Really hear me on that. So if nobody has our back but each other and who we got in our circle, if you lacking in supplies and nourishment, you go over there to somebody and that don't look like you and see if they're gonna help you. I see people all the time on the side of the freeway with signs talking about help or need work for food or homeless, 3 kids, whatever. I drive all around this country, all around the Bay Area, I'll say, and I see a lot of things. And I'm telling you, I see white folks with signs getting paid by their own people, giving them big money. I don't see a lot of black folks getting that money, change, or they just ignore them and like they're not there. They're getting brainwashed. They're getting numb to us being in poverty. So if something happens, we got to go out there and get it. Because we wasn't vulnerable with the right people in our circle, we don't have the right people around us because we want to be tough guy all day. You can't be tough guy, tough woman all day long. So when the chips go down, oh, that person will be all right. They're tough. They got it. They never need anything. Okay? See what happens when you ain't had no food in your belly and no water for 6-8 hours when you're sweating in the sun because something happened in this country or whatever it might be. Who you going to depend on then? Think about that. All right, I'm going to get this. I think it's somebody else's block number. I don't know who this is, but they got another question or something. So let me get you in. Mr. or Mrs. Block number. Welcome to the call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm going to make this is Sapphire again. I'm going to make this really brief. About vulnerability.
Okay.
Do you think that some people, because I agree with every single thing you said about vulnerability, but do you believe that some of us will not be vulnerable to certain people because we don't sense integrity? And we feel like if we are vulnerable to a person that doesn't have integrity, they will exploit our vulnerabilities. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that that's true. But here's the problem with that. Even when you have a new relationship with somebody, another man, another woman, I see people go a long time before they just open up and say one thing. You know what? By the time you get ready to do something, if your timing is off, you lost that person. It might be the great person in your life because they decided you wasn't going to be real, so I'm wasting my time. So it's a chance. That's a power of vulnerability. It takes a mature person to be vulnerable. Not saying you give it to everybody, but what I'm saying is people you decide you want to clue in on to be friends, to be possibly love interest, to be business partner, whatever it is in your circle. You can't give it to everybody. But what I'm saying is that you have to decide as a mature person, these are my problems. Now, do I need to let people know what my issues are? Well, yes, you might if you want that person to really see for who you are, because when people go through life faking it the whole time, they get old, they realize, damn, what was I faking it all these years for? And they look around, they ain't got nobody they can really trust. That trust factor comes from people being vulnerable. Now, I have people in my life that they came for a season. I was vulnerable with them. They choose to be, they end up being the wrong people to be friends with or to be in a relationship with. But you know what? That wasn't my fault. That's their loss. Now, I learned from that. I grew from that. But you know what? If you're not willing to cast your pole in the water, you're never going to get a fish. You're never going to get a fish. You'll sit there starving with your pole on the sideline, worrying about should I dump in or not. I know folks all the time that I grew up with. I went back to my class reunion in Texas, and I seen people was married to other people that we went to school with. One person had the baby, but this person ended up marrying the best friend of her. So he had a baby with this one girl, but he ended up marrying her best friend. So why didn't he marry that one? Why did he marry this one? He had a baby with this one with her for like 10 years. He had a baby with her, but didn't want to marry her. He married her best friend. You ask why stuff happened like that. Why? Something was there. And I'm telling you, vulnerability is a powerful thing. It's a mature thing. Some people don't get it till they get to the point they had a few knocks on their head, but it's a chance. You're going to get hurt. I've been hurt so many times, let me tell you. But I got stronger every time over time. You drop me in Beijing now, I'll be all right. I know how to build relationships with people. Once you have that skill set, you can go anywhere. Anywhere. But absolutely. But like I said, this is what I learned. This is a secret. A best kept secret, I'm going to tell you. People are not going to get it. A lot of people are not going to get it. But they don't know why when they call, people don't come for them. They don't know why. If I call my friends and they can, they coming. It's not even a question in my mind. They're going to show up. Because they know who I am. I don't waste my time. I don't use my friends up. If I call them for something, they know I needed it. And they don't even question me on it. So I got, like, for example, I got two friends right now. I ain't going to say who they are. One's a guy, one's a girl. Now, the girl knows both of us, right? She asked me for money. She asked him for money. He won't give her no money. But I gave her some money. This years ago. Years ago. Now, why is that? Because the relationship with both of us were different. She didn't treat him the same way she treated me. You see? So he don't feel the connection, the bond with her. Why should I give her money? She wasted her time. This she did that, whatever. But me knowing where she came from, knowing how she grew up, I would do that for her, and she would do that for me. And both would do for me, but he wouldn't do for both of us. He'd do for me, not her. See, it's all about relationships. And because the bond was never built. The connection was never made. And it happens all through our life. We miss up jobs. We miss up opportunities. Hey, they have a sale downtown. Get the sale right there. Hey, this is going on right here. This investment opportunity. Some people get it. Some people don't. Why I got to go and tell 5 of my friends when we all know each other? I got to tell them 5 because the guy who told me won't tell them. I got to go tell them to help them because I care about them. It's because the bond is not built with everybody the same, you see? But you learn that through hard knock life. You learn through experience, learn that, you know what? Everybody not going to have the same bond. And that's why I said, who are you going to leave your children with? Something pop off in this country. Who are you going to leave you get hurt in the struggle. Somebody needs medical attention and you with your group. Somebody got to go out and get it. It might be scary, might be dangerous, might not come back alive, might get hurt. But who do you feel comfortable leaving your family, your flock, or who you feel comfortable leaving your supplies with? That when you go, they ain't going to think about themselves, take all your stuff and go somewhere else with it. Things like this have to be understood. But you can't build a relationship with nobody over 1 or 2 weeks. That's why I say people, it's better clean people out now. Sweep up now. Sort your circle now, because when things happen in this country and all we got is each other, and you can't trust the person that look like you and next to you, or in your same group, or in your apartment complex, or in the house with you, or in the neighborhood with you, you can't come together. You're going to die by yourself, individually, because I'm telling you something. This country is changing fast, at breakneck speed, and now the global game is what we're playing. Even for a job, black folks, especially black men, we got to know somebody almost to get a good job nowadays. Because I look at the jobs now, they run by Hispanic, on the low-level service jobs most of the time. They run by Asian people at the tech jobs and white folks at the tech jobs and the investment in marketing and sales jobs. They putting people they want in there. Nobody's thinking about black folks at all. And unfortunately, we're thinking about ourselves, a lot of us. So you got to build those relationships right now. And you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to build no bond with nobody in my family unless you're vulnerable. Not no real relationship. Some going to take you for granted and just, stab you in the back or whatever, but you learn. You keep moving. But you will find them seeds. It's like you get a pan full of rocks. 15 of them might be diamonds in the bottom of that pan. You got to go through some rough, not rocks to find those diamonds. You give up, you never get them. You'll never get them. But 15 diamonds worth is in the hand is worth 100 of them in the ground. So that's deep right there, family. It's gonna take some time for you to get that, but I'm gonna tell you, I know who my friends are.
It is deep, and I want to show you where you helped me. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to say that it was going over my head, but one of my vulnerabilities is that my hobby is reading books. And so what you were saying to me at first, I was kind of accepting it as a little bit cliche-ish, but I knew that it was deep. Got me was that I just had the light bulb moment. Because what you're saying to me, I don't know what you're saying to everybody else. What I'm getting is you need to be strong and vulnerable. Because if you show vulnerability to somebody that ain't shit, you got to be strong enough to accept that they might talk about you like a dog. You got to be strong enough to know that they may tell your business, but that's their loss. You know what you're dealing with now, and you still have your integrity intact. Because you're willing to be open with people that you trust. You're willing to build relationships. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not too big to tell you that that's how I was receiving at first. I knew it was deep, but I got you. I got you, my brother. And I want to say this to you.
I'm so glad you got that.
I want to say this to you.
Oh, my God.
I want you to know that I'm so proud of you for talking about Big Mama. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I'm gonna tell you something. I read a book that said that one of the number one tools, not the only one, but one of the number one tools that was used against us was to separate us from Big Mama.
Mm-hmm.
They said she provided something for us in our culture. Do you believe that?
I do. Truly do.
Your Big Mama sound like my Big Mama, just like her. My Big Mama only had a 6th grade education.
Yeah, mine had a 3rd grade education, but she's smarter than most people I even knew. And the killing part is, I meet people all the time. Let me tell you something, Sapphire. People all the time, and I know how to repair somebody. You get cold, you get sick. I fix you up, get you a hot toddy. I get you alcohol, Vicks Vapor Rub. My Big Mama was a midwife. And women look at me like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? Because I had a Big Mama. We don't got a Big Mamas no more. They 30 years old now. They're 35. No life experience. It's just sad. I miss my Big Mama every day. And I look at the picture right by my bed.
I miss my Big Mama too.
And
I love that woman. Do you hear me?
I'm telling you. That's my mama.
I'm going to tell you something else you did for me. I had always been ashamed to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I felt like my Big Mama. I love my mama, but I felt like I loved my Big Mama more. I felt like she was more my mother. But
that's how I feel about mine.
I never said that to anyone.
No way. That's how I felt about mine. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm glad you got, sister, because I hope I can help somebody. I'm glad I helped you on that. And I hope, because my life experience, I got kicked out when I was 17 because I wasn't doing what my mom wanted me to do. At 17, but it helped me to be a man. I would not be who I am today had I not lived on my own and struggled. You follow me? I met a lot of friends and they come to me for advice because I've been in the street a long time on my own, not going up to go to my mom and my dad's house to comfort me. Big Mama from a long way try to give me some words of encouragement, write me letters and stuff. I didn't have nobody like that. I had to learn, Brother Resource said, I had to learn how to be a man, the rites of passage. And I look around today, it's like, wow. It's like night and day. I felt like I was 30 years old at 21. I had a rough little start, but you know what? God was preparing me for something greater. And I walk into that greatness. And like I said, I can go to people say, you go to another country by yourself? Because I don't need nobody to identify me. I know who I am. But it only came from being vulnerable, being in the worst shit in my life, being ridiculed, being abused physically, emotionally. abused. Now, like, what you gonna tell me? If I don't care, but you're not in my circle, I'm like, it's war for ducks back, baby. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm gonna go up and do me. You ain't paying my bills. You're not in my circle. You're just somebody passing in the street. That's it. But everybody's so vulnerable, they're so hurt. You know what? Because you ain't prepared, you ain't gonna thick skin. It's not thick because you went through life trying to be somebody else instead of embracing yourself and your weaknesses and your strengths and working on your weaknesses becoming strengths later on. Now, through my life, I can see what people need in other people, and I give them what they need. I don't make them work for it. I give them what they need. You see, up front. Then people come to me. Half my friends right now, Miss Sapphire, half my friends, I gained them before they gained me. You follow me? I made the friends. People say, well, Wolf, how do you make friends like that? Because I know what people need. I don't bullshit people. I give them what they need up front. Nothing in return. Up front. Nothing up front. I'm a man of respect. I'm a stand-up type of dude. I'm going to give you what you need. I'm not going to play games with you because I want you playing with me. You follow me? Some played the game and they ain't here no more. And the rest of them, they still here and they're my best friends. Because they know I don't play them games like that. I come from a broken home, dysfunctional household. So I know what not to play with. I don't play with games. People look around, look at this guy. He got this cold, he poor, he that. I don't play them games, people. You see, because I've been there. And I could look at this, I could meet dysfunctional people, Sapphire, I could meet them. I talk to them, they're like, wow, you was a breath of fresh air to me. You know why? Because I know the pain you feel. I felt it at one point. But I ain't there no more. So now I can help you. The problem is tonight, society without people, you got two broken people trying to help each other. It ain't going to happen. The blind lead the blind. I can give you what I have. I can't give you what I wish for. I can give you what I have. I can give you what I wish for. I think it's somewhere as a parable in the Bible. I don't want to get too spiritual on y'all because I don't know what people believe, but in the Bible talks about white linen and white making things clean, and you go into something dirty, a white cloth can't make a dirty cloth clean. A clean cloth don't only get dirty by a dirty cloth. So basically what it's saying is that if you have an issue, some dirt on your personality, whatever it might be, you can't help somebody with that same type of dirt on them because you ain't fixed your own shit yet. How I'm going to help you? How am I going to help you at the same problem? You can't help me. We can't help each other. We just sitting here trying to figure it out together. We need a third party to come in who has experience and learn from that and build a bridge over that shit and can help you, mentor you out of that. You can't mentor nobody when you ain't got your own shit. You can't mentor nobody. I can't show you how to make $1 million and I ain't made $1 million yet. I can't show you that. I'm hoping I get it too. Shit. But this guy over here, he's a millionaire. He can show you how he did it if he chooses to. But the problem is we getting people's advice who can't even help us. People who ain't never been through what they've been through. Somebody been raped. I ain't never been raped. How am I going to help this sister been raped? I can comfort her. I can't help her with that. If I know somebody who has been raped, who got through that successfully, keyword successfully, I can send a sister to help that sister. Because she's been through that. She can help her with that. I can't. We got folks trying to get the marriage advice from people who broke in marriage right now. How are they going to work out? This motherfucker over here broke. Their marriage is messed up. They gonna help you with your shit? How? That shit don't work. Where you learn that at? What part of the game is this? Broke folks trying to give other people advice. This shit can't keep a man, but she trying to help other people with a man. And she ain't got no man. Really? This dude trying to help another dude with his girl, he ain't got no girl. Really? How does that work? You can't keep one woman, but you can teach me how to keep mine. So, vulnerability is very important, family. I'm glad you got it, because if you got it, I'm hoping somebody else got that message, because I don't want people to wake up 75 years old, look back on their life, and you know what? Wonder why nobody's there. So, all right, it's been getting ready to cut us off.
I think they'll listen to it again.
Every 8 o'clock, every Monday. That's right. And the replay will be on YouTube. Go to Bay Area Black Community YouTube channel, and it'll be there for recording for you. Follow us on Twitter at Bay Area Black. Follow us on the Facebook. Our Facebook page is the Bay Area Black Community. We have a private group. If you're a real person, we'll add you to the group. You better have some real pictures on there, because I ain't messing around. Too many agents out here. But the YouTube channel, you get the rebroadcast and look at everything that people said. And God bless everybody. Y'all have a good night. Monday next week, 8 p.m., we'll be doing it again. Peace and love.